supplies. So, everything na diniscuss natin actually culminates to DC power supply. So, from semiconductors to diodes to rectifiers up until yung sa transistors class na discuss natin, may application yung lahat sa DC power supply. And pag-aaralan natin dito yung step-by-step procedure how to make a power supply. However, syempre, medyo advanced na tayo today. Yung ay ipapakita ko sa inyo na block diagrams showing yung stages has been simplified. Yung construction nowadays. For example, yan yung simple form ng isang DC power supply na alam natin is yung charger ng cellphone. Yan. Kasi nagbibigay siya ng power sa cellphone natin, nililipat niya doon sa battery para mag-work siya. So, in a way, it's providing DC kasi DC yung kailangan ng cellphone natin. And saan niya kinukuha yung DC signal na yun or DC voltage? Galing niya doon sa saksakan natin sa bahay which runs on alternating current. So, may nangyayari na conversion, di ba? And we already know that nung pinag-aaralan natin yung application ng diodes, especially when it comes to rectification. So, di ba, pag sinabi natin rectification, yun yung pagpapalit or pagko-convert ng AC to DC. But, hindi enough plus yung rectifier lang. Kaya, multiple yung stages ng power supplies natin. Okay? Yan. Stop natin dito. So, just a bit of intro. Sabi niya dito, starting with an AC voltage, we obtain a steady DC voltage by rectifying the AC voltage and then filtering to a DC level and finally regulating it to obtain a desired fixed DC voltage. So, as you can see here, hindi lang class rectifying or rectification yung required para ma-convert natin yung AC into DC. So, meron pa siya ditong then, kailangan daw natin i-filter, tapos kailangan natin siyang i-regulate. So, ito class is simplified into a block diagram such as this one. It's figure 8.1 dun sa ating lecture module. So, mag-start tayo dito sa leftmost block natin. As you can see, meron tayong source na 120 volt VRMS. Some countries have 120, 110. Dito sa Pilipinas, 220 time plus. So, pagkatapos class nung source na to, yan, yung saksakan natin yan. Merong isang transformer block. So, alam na natin to class. Syempre, yung gagamitin dito specifically is a step-down transformer. And ito class yung pinag-aralan natin doon sa rectifier or diode applications natin, diba? So, may formula tayo. Yung transformer, meron siyang turns ratio. So, yun yung nakalagay na 3:1. Diba? Naalala nyo nun. Tapos, gagamitin natin yung formula na VP over VS is equal to NP over NS. Or kahit baliktad yan, pwede yan class. Which tells us yung primary voltage over secondary voltage. So, yung pinakatrabaho class ng transformer is pababain yung RMS voltage na galing sa saksakan natin. Kasi madalas yung DC voltage na kailangan natin for everyday use, for typical uses, hindi naman siya ganito kataas na 120. So, yung trabaho ni transformer, i-transform us or particularly, it step down yung ating voltage. Ayan, i-step down. Ayan. And then, pagkatapos i-step down, di ba, yung transformer natin nakakonect siya sa isang rectifier circuit. Ayan. So, yung rectifier circuit natin, yung trabaho niya, ayan, palitan yung ating AC into a DC signal. Ayan, so, katas niya sa transformer class, AC pa rin yan. So, ang nangyari lang is, napababa lang yung voltage. So, depende sa turns ratio class, diba, 120, ayan, 3:1, diba? I'm sorry, baka 1:3 pala yun, no? So, diba, bumaba siya, ayan. Pero AC pa rin class yung signal, no? Okay? AC pa rin yun. Okay? So, yung trabaho ni rectifier is to transform AC into DC, pero yung DC natin dito, tulad ng pinag-aralan natin class, it's still considered as a pulsating DC. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya class steady. Okay? Hindi siya consistent yung value niya over time. So as you can see here, dito sa signal natin, kitang-kita yung class. Bakit? Kasi throughout time, which is yung x-axis dito sa signal natin, may points kung saan nagsi-zero class yung aking voltage value. Yun yung aking y-axis. Okay? Nagsi-zero class yung aking voltage. Which is not, uh, which is not recommended kasi hindi siya consistent, 'di ba? We run the risk of breaking down yung ating uh, device kung saan siya nakasaksak and nag-iiba-iba class yung power consumption, 'di ba? So imagine niyo parang napupundi siya kasi patay sindi siya gano'n, 'di ba? Patay sindi yung aking ah, device kasi may point na nagsi-zero siya. So pagka zero yung voltage, effectively nag-o-off siya, 'di ba? Yan. So, para class ma-solve yun, 'no, hindi na niya ma-reach yung zero value, kailangan natin siyang i-filter class, yan. So sabi niya dito filter, ang gamit natin madalas dito sa filter is a capacitor, okey, capacitor lang. So dito sa capacitance, ang hina-harness nating, um, yung hina-harness natin dito class na characteristic ng isang capacitor is yung ability niya class na mag-discharge, okey? So, yung capacitor kasi class, para siyang battery in a way. Pagka class, meron tayong nilagay na voltage across it, magso-store siya ng energy through electric field. Para siyang nagcha-charge, 'di ba? Yan, para siyang nagcha-charge. Tapos kapagka nawala yung voltage na yun sa kanya, dun siya magdi-discharge class, dun niya ile-let out yung na-store na energy sa kanya. So that way, dun sa points class na naka-turn off yung aking ah, rectifier, ayan, yung signal na nagsi-zero siya, dahil may filter ako, ayan, dun sa output voltage ko class, may nababasa siya. Yung nababasa niya na yun class is yung output ng aking capacitor na nagdi-discharge. Okay? And then yung regulator naman class ang trabaho niya is to further improve yung nagiging output ng aking filter. So as you can see here yung filter, although hindi na niya nare-reach class yung zero, 'di ba? Yung lowest point niya ito. Yan. Ah, hindi na siya, hindi pa rin siya perfect. Okay, kahit na hindi niya nare-reach yung zero, hindi pa rin siya perfect, hindi pa rin siya steady. So gusto natin ma-achieve yun yung sa straight line na nandito. So para ma-achieve yun class, kailangan ko ng isang regulator. Nowadays, yung ginagamit na regulator are already integrated circuits. So gumagamit na ng transistor class para mas malinis yung nagiging output. Uh, aside from IC kasi class, no, pwede din natin ditong gamitin yung Zener diode. Okay? So yung Zener diode, nagpo-provide siya ng isang steady voltage sa ating circuit. Okay, doon sa output niya. Which effectively acts like a regulator. Diba? No matter how much mag-change class yung aking input, pagka meron akong effective regulator, hindi mag-iiba yung aking output. Okay. And then lastly, syempre yung load kung saan ah, ginagamit natin yung ating DC power supply. Okay? Hindi ko na masyadong i-discuss 'to class 'no, kasi nowadays yung DC power supply natin nakakabili na tayo class ng charger type. So halimbawa class 'no, gagamit tayo ng isang microcontroller unit, ah, Arduino o kaya Raspberry, ayan. Ah, Puwede na tayong hindi gumamit or gumawa, sorry, hindi mali yun, puwede na tayong hindi gumawa from scratch ng isang power supply kasi may nabibili na tayo class na ready-made na power supply na nagpo-provide ng say 5 volts lang kasi maliit lang naman yung power requirement ng mga microcontroller. Lalo na yun yung gagamitin natin madalas as computer engineers 'no. Not to mention yung mga malalaking power supplies nag-e-exist na din sila, 'di ba, na effectively. So, it's not really practical for us to actually make this from scratch, 'no? Although it's good practice, parang good project siya para ma-appreciate niyo class yung mismo, ah, process kung paano nata-transform yung AC into DC. However, yun nga, makakabili na kayo class na parang charger lang siya na type, okey? Yung parang adapter lang, gano'n, yun. So, yung adapter, it's actually a form of, uh, it's a form of DC power supply. So, yun yung madalas ginagamit sa mga router kasi, ah, konti lang naman yung requirement, 'di ba? Yun yung kulay bilog yung, saksakan sa router. Tas yun yung isasaksak mo class sa yung kabila, yun yung isasaksak mo sa, outlet. Okey, tignan niyo yung sa router niyo yung, power supply, ayan, 'di ba? So, lit lang, 'di ba? Para lang siyang charger ng cellphone. Kasi masyado ng advanced class, 'no? May mga power supply modules na kayo na mabibili class na IC. Kumpleto na yun, may transformer na yun, may rectifier, may filter, may IC regulator, all in small chip na ganito kalaki. Okey, galing, 'di ba? Yan. Pero pag-aralan natin yung certain factors that we consider for, DC power supplies. So, number one factor na, binibigay natin or kino-consider natin is yung ripple factor. So, although a battery has essentially a constant or DC output voltage, yung DC voltage natin derived from an AC source signal by rectifying and filtering will have some ripple. So, consider daw measuring the output voltage of a filter circuit using a DC voltmeter and an AC RMS voltmeter. So, naalala class nung nagla-lab tayo, 'di ba, meron tayong, um, setting dun sa, tester natin. May dalawang klaseng voltage tayong mine-measure, 'di ba? Either DC or yung AC voltage. So, dun sa tester natin sa lab, 'di ba, may volts na ganyan. Tapos may voltage din na ganito yung sample, 'yan. O naalala 'yan, yung ganyan, ayan. Naalala ba yun? So, 'di ba naalala niyo yung iba nagkakamali nung nagme-measure ng voltage ng diode, yung mine-measure nila, ayan, hindi mag-reflect, ayan, hindi katulad ng sa ibang group. So, probably yung mistake na yun is from the fact na mali yung mine-measure nating voltage. Baka AC voltage yung mine-measure, dapat DC voltage, okey? So, etong sinasabi dito sa slide na may AC or RMS voltage at saka DC voltmeter na 'to, eto din yun, okey? Eto din yun. So, kapagka daw mine-measure natin yung isang, rectified DC output ng isang power supply, meron tayong mame-measure class na DC voltage at saka AC voltage. Kasi 'di ba nanggaling lang siya sa isang AC signal, galing sa saksakan. So, hindi siya necessarily a battery na chemically, acquired yung voltage natin, 'di ba? Galing siya sa saksakan na AC. So, meron pa rin tayong mame-measure na AC voltage sa kanya kahit na DC yung nilalabas niya, okey? So, yung fact na yun galing siya dito class, 'no? So, um for example, ito yung output ng isang DC voltage, ayan. So, ito yung signal niya class, 'no, DC ito class, okey, kasi hindi na siya napupunta sa negative, puro na lang siya positive values, 'di ba? But as you can see, nagcha-change pa rin yung level class, 'no, hindi siya steady or consistent. So, halimbawa ito, sabihin natin 6 'to, ta's ito 5, 'di ba? Sa ilalim 5 volts. So, may times na nagsi-6 volts, nagfa-5 volts or everything in between 5 and 6, 'di ba? Kasi 'pag gano'n siya, ayan, pa-wave siyang ganyan. So, at different times, iba-iba class yung ating value. So, kapagka class mineasure natin yung signal na 'to sa isang tester, in DC voltage, yung gagawin ni tester is kukunin niya yung average. Magsa-sample siya class. So, halimbawa, kukuha siya ng sample from this point hanggang this point. Tapos, para ma-measure yung DC voltage class, kukunin yung average ng lahat ng, points na nandito, as many samples as it can. So, halimbawa 100 samples, gano'n yung ime-measure niya. Ayan, 100 values between this point, ayan, time 0 hanggang sa time na 'to class. Yun yung magiging DC voltage, okey. Pero paano naman yung AC voltage class? O ime-measure niya class yung, level highest to lowest, okey, which are two different values class. So, yung AC voltage, yun yung tinatawag natin na RMS ripple voltage, okey? And then yung DC, yun yung average voltage natin class, okey? So, anong gusto nating mangyari pagka ganito yung case? So, gusto natin class 'no, yung ma-measure natin na ripple voltage is very small lang, okey? Ibig sabihin class kapagka maliit yung ripple voltage natin, yung signal natin hindi siya masyadong wavy class, ayan, ganyan lang siya, okey. So, pagka ganyan, maliit yung RMS ripple voltage natin. Ano ito yung target natin class kasi remember 'di ba para makuha yung steady o kailangan pantay lang yung ating signal. So, as much as possible, hindi class dapat mataas yung ating, peaks kumbaga sa aking signal, okey? So, gusto lang natin pantay. So, paano natin naso-solve yung ripple factor class? So, ripple is defined as, R. So, ito yung R yun yung ripple class, okey? And then, paano daw natin makukuha yun? Kunin lang natin class yung quotient ng ripple RMS voltage over DC voltage. So, kung output to class ng isang say, rectifier circuit, i-me-measure natin both yung AC voltage at saka yung DC voltage. Okay? And then multiply natin siya by 100 kasi yung ripple factor class, we can, we can express it as a percentage. Okay? Yan. So, siyempre as much as possible, gusto natin yung ripple class, yung ripple natin is as close as 0%. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi masyadong I'm sorry, hindi siya, 0%, ayun. Gusto natin halos identical yung RMS dun sa DC voltage. Ibig sabihin masyadong maliit yung ating, ripple factor 'no, okey? Close to, um, yun nga 0%, okey. Hindi siya necessarily 0%, okey? Kasi ibig sabihin walang RMS voltage na ma-me-measure, 'di ba? Pero in reality kasi meron kang ma-me-measure, ah, na RMS voltage, yan. So, VRRMS, the RMS ripple voltage, and then yung DC voltage natin yung VDC. So, try natin gumawa ng isang example class. So, yung DC voltage at saka RMS voltage kasi sinasabi, kailangan specified yun dun sa ating unit. Although, that constitutes using different, subscripts, pareho pa ring voltage yun class. Ang kaibahan lang is yung way kung paano natin siya kinukuha. So, it's a different expression of voltage, pero voltage pa rin yun class, kaya maa-cancel natin yung dalawang values na yun. Now, when it comes to problems involving ripple factor, medyo madali lang naman siya class. Kasi dapat yung RMS natin should be in RMS form. And then yung DC kailangan express siya into volts PC. So, right away makikita na natin dito class alin yung values na, gagamitin natin according do sa formula natin. So, solve daw natin 'to class, nag-measure daw siya ng isang output ng isang filter circuit. Na-obtain niya na reading in DC is 25 and yung RMS is 1.5. Compute daw natin yung magiging ripple factor. So, ripple R is equal to VR RMS over VDC multiplied by 100. So, dito yung RMS ko is 1.5 volts RMS over yung DC voltage 25 volts DC times 100. So, ano yung magiging R ko dito class? Chat box. In percent. Ayan. Okay. So, 8% yan. Kasi na times ng 100. Wala na lang, 6% yun class. Okey, nakuha ba 6%? Nakuha ba 6%? Yan, okey. So, ganun lang 6%. Ibig sabihin yung DC voltage natin, um, 6% yung deviation niya dun sa ating RMS. So, 6% yung nagiging ripple class. I think acceptable to yung point na 'to class kasi 6% lang, okey? Yan. So next, number 2. A filtered full-wave rectifier has a DC voltage measured at 27.93 volt DC and a ripple factor of 4.28%. Ano daw yung RMS ripple voltage measured? So, pinaparang dito class something inside our formula. So, from R is equal to VR RMS over VDC times 100. We can find na yung VR, RMS, ayan. So, algebra lang 'to class. So, R over 100 and dinivide ko lang by 100 both sides. So, VR, RMS, VDC, and then solving for VRMS, yung mas-solve natin dito is ayan, multiply both sides by VDC. So, R VDC over 100. So, ito na yung formula ko class by doing some algebra. So, VR RMS is then equal to, and substitute lang natin class, 4.28 times, so VDC natin is 27.93 volts DC over 100. So, ano yung makukuha ko dito class na RMS voltage? Yan 'no, so sagot. So, yung makukuha niyo dito class dapat is 1.20 volts RMS. Yan, very good. Yan, okey. So, gano'n lang class 'no. So, essentially dapat yung RMS voltage ko should be, I'm sorry, yung ripple factor natin has to be, relatively low, okey? Remember yung mga mababahat na 'to class 'no, nag-employ na sila or gumamit na sila class ng filter sa kanila. Normally, rectifier outputs class have very high ripple factors. Kaya non-negotiable na gumamit tayo ng isang filter kasi masyadong malala class yung ripple ng ating mga rectifier circuit. So, yung trabaho lang naman kasi ng rectifier is, gawin siyang DC. Okay. So, yung sinabi ko ano DC, but actually the proper is make it a pulsating DC. So, kumbaga ginagawa lang ni rectifier, tinatanggal niya class yung ating negative voltages from the AC. Kasi 'di ba yung aking, input sa isang rectifier, nagpupunta pa siya sa negative, ayan gumaganyan siya 'di ba? Ayan. Pero pagka-touch niya sa rectifier class, ang nangyayari puro na lang siya sa positive plus. Tina-touch niya yung zero pero hindi siya tumutuloy sa negative. So ito yung pinakatrabaho niya, class yung rectifier. Ngayon, ayoko class yung masyadong or nare-reach niya yung zero class na kasi, that means na mataas yung aking RMS value. So mataas din yung ripple factor ko diyan. So para mapababa ko class yung ripple factor, gagamit ako class ng isang filter circuit or ng isang capacitor, okey? Para hindi ninyo marating yung zero class and mapababa ko yung ripple factor natin, okey? Yan. So speaking of rectifiers class, ayan, ma-solve din natin yung ating mga, ripple factor dun. And yung gusto nating mangyari siyempre as much as possible yung ginagamit nating rectifier, mababa na yung nagiging ripple factor to begin with. And remember 'di ba, we have several types of rectifier circuits. May half wave, full wave, at saka full wave bridge rectifier. So ang tanong, alin dun yung may pinakamaliit na ripple factor, 'di ba? So, although the rectified voltage is not a filtered voltage, it nevertheless contains a DC component and a ripple component. Now, our job here is to identify yung may pinakamaliit na ripple component na rectifier circuit. Kasi yun yung dapat gamitin natin. Okay, huwag natin pahirapan yung sarili natin. Okay? That also means na kung gumamit tayo ng isang rectifier circuit, pwedeng mas simple na lang yung gamitin nating filter circuit. Okay? So dito class, naka-simplify yung difference ng rectifier circuits natin, half wave and full wave types. So yung half wave o yun yung half wave lang yung nire-rectify, no? Ito lang yung gumagamit ng dalawang um, isang diode, okay? Pero remember 'di ba yung output ng ating rectifier half wave, mabilis siya 'di ba? Pero pagka full wave ayan meron na siya dito class sa point to, okay? So kapagka half wave yung ripple factor daw reaches 121%, pero sa full wave 48% lang. So from this, obviously class 'no, siyempre yung gagamitin nating rectifier type is yung full wave rectifiers, okey? Kasi mas mababa yung binibigay niya na ripple factor, okey? So sa full wave rectifier, either yung pinag-aralan natin na full wave rectifier na gumagamit ng 2 diodes, okey, or yung ating full bridge wave rectifier na gumagamit ng 4 na diodes. Okay? Now from here, 'di ba pinag-aralan natin yung advantage ng full bridge over full wave bridge. Ay sorry, full wave over full wave bridge rectifier. Okay? Ayan, balik pala, full wave bridge. Okay. Na even though class, gumagamit ng mas maraming diode si full wave bridge, mas practical siya kasi mas maliit yung gagamitin nating transformer. Okay. So ngayon, dadagdagan ng isa pang advantage class yung aking full wave bridge. So other than using a smaller transformer, yung full wave bridge also gives us a much smaller ripple factor, this time with compare sa half wave rectifier. Kaya class, yung ultimate rectifier circuit na gagamitin natin is yung full wave bridge rectifier. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yun, okey? Sabi niya dito class sa lecture, remember that a full wave rectified signal has less ripple than a half wave rectified signal and is thus better to apply to a filter. Or in general, yun yung ah, i-a-apply natin sa isang DC power supply. Okay? Question so far? Question so far? Oo. Okay, wala naman. So remember that a full wave rectified signal has less ripple than a half wave rectified signal and is thus better to apply to a filter. So next, discuss natin yung isa pang factor, the last one, which is yung voltage regulation. So another factor of importance in a power supply is the amount the DC output voltage changes over a range of circuit operation. Yung sinasabi dito class na circuit operation is yes. Yes, it is. John Kevin. Yes. Ayos na? Okay. Ayan. So, yung sinasabi dito class na circuit operation is when our circuit is either loaded loaded or unloaded. So, syempre class 'no, kino-connect natin yung ating load across our power supply and syempre magdo-draw siya class ng current dun sa ating power supply. So, when that happens, nagkakaroon ng changes class yung ating DC output voltage. Okay, kasi nababawasan na yung current class na nabibigay dun sa components na nasa loob. Now, this is the same thing as identifying class, no? Yung output rating ng isang DC power supply natin. And kung enough ba siya class dun sa device kung saan natin siya ginagamit. Kasi for example, yung isa kong router class, nagra-run siya ng 5 volts. Yan, so 5 volts yung requirement niya. Tapos di ko namalayan yung power supply ko nagle-let out na lang siya ng 2.5 volts. So, dun pa lang 'di ba alam na natin, hindi na magiging enough class yung aking output power. So, it's the same thing as this, okey? Puwedeng makita natin na yung nagiging voltage natin hindi na siya as steady as it is supposed to be kapagka nilalagyan na natin ng load. So, that means na puwedeng hindi applicable yung load natin dun sa power supply or yung, power supply yung may mali, okey? So, puwede naman kasi na kinonsider natin i-design yung isang power supply for that particular device, pero nagkamali tayo, 'di ba? So, dun papasok yung engineering skills natin ta's okey? So, the amount of DC voltage changes between the no-load and load connections is described by a factor called voltage regulation, okey? So, siyempre ideally or yung perfect condition nito would be siyempre ayaw natin na magkaroon ng change kapagka no load at saka load condition. Ibig sabihin class, yung voltage, okey, kapagka hindi natin siya sinasaksakan ng load at kapagka meron na siyang load, pareho lang, 'di ba? Kapagka walang changes, ibig sabihin pareho lang yung voltage na name-measure natin, 'di ba? That's the ideal part. Kasi in reality, hindi naman yan nabibigay 100%. So ideally class 'no, yung, or in reality, yung voltage regulation natin has to be close to 100%, okey? Parang gano'n. Okay. I'm sorry, ayan, ideally, parang close siya sa zero so walang change, 'di ba? Kasi pagka gano'n yung case, pagka 0% ibig sabihin, 0% yung nagiging deviation niya. So hindi siya nag-i-increase or nagde-decrease by any percentage. So walang change, 'di ba, zero. So ito kasi yung formula natin 'no, medyo madali lang naman siya. In problems involving voltage regulation, we only need two measurements. So yung voltage pagka wala siyang load at saka yung voltage with, full load, okey? So ibig sabihin meron na yung device natin dito. Yung device in circuitry, or in diagrams na baka ma-encounter ninyo with voltage regulation is typically represented as a resistance. Okay, yung full load na sinasabi dito. Pero yung importante lang dito is voltage yung gusto nating makita na value and DC voltage. So, titignan lang natin kung malayo siya. Okay? So, preferably or ideally sinasabi ko sa inyo, no change class, 'di ba? So, walang changes. That means yung no load voltage ko should be equal to my full load voltage. Kasi 'di ba walang change. So, dapat equal sila class. So, dapat yung makuha ko na percent voltage regulation from this formula should be equal to 0%. 'Di ba? Kasi kung equal yung VNL at saka VFL class, so VNL minus VFL since they are same values, magze-zero 'to, 'di ba? So zero 'yan kapagka equal. So zero divided by this is zero times 100, 0%. So if yung value daw ng full load voltage natin is same, zero yung makukuha natin, um, percent voltage regulation. And that is what is best expected. Now, in reality, we only want our VR to approach or be at least near 0%. Okay? Yan. So, yun yung perfect. So, halimbawa dito, ayan. So, a DC voltage supply provides 60 volts when the output is unloaded. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung 60 volts ko dyan, yun yung voltage unloaded or no load, NL. 60 volts. Okay? And then, When connected to a load, the output drops to 56 volts. So, yun na yung full load voltage ko na 56 volts. Calculate daw natin yung value of voltage regulation. So, percent VR is equal to, ayan, no load is 60 minus 56 over full load over, I'm sorry, tama, full load, 56 volts times 100. Ayan. So, yung makukuha ko dito would be, yung kailangan makuha nyo dyan is 7.1%. Ayan na yung percent voltage regulation. Okay? So, ibig sabihin class, no, yung full load voltage ko, nag-drop siya by 7.1%. Relative kay low load voltage. Okay? So, pagka class malapit siya sa 0%, it means that the supply is a perfect voltage source for which the output voltage is independent of the current drawn from the supply. The smaller the voltage regulation, the better is the operation of the voltage supply circuit. So, gusto natin, malapit siya sa 0%. That means, smaller yung ating changes. Okay? And question so far? And wala naman. So, punta tayo class with Zener regulator. Now, typically, IC na class yung gagamitin natin as a regulator. That's simply as 1, 2, 3 na i-coconnect nyo lang class, no? And then may output na siya automatically. So, as an engineer, of course, I would recommend you to use IC. But as a supplemental lang, lagay tayo ng Zener diode regulator. In connection din, since pinag-aralan din natin yung Zener diode. However, parang pahapyaw lang yun sa applications. Kasi di ba nag-focus tayo dun sa rectification application ng isang diode. Kaya di ba pinag-aralan natin yung half wave, full wave bridge. Yan. So parang doon tayo masyado nag-focus. Kasi yun talaga yung main uses ng diodes natin. But diodes have been used class on many applications. One of which is yung application ng Zener diode as a voltage regulator. So, if you remember class, no, Zener diodes operate in the breakdown region. Okay? Kaya, Zener diodes naturally are reverse bias in nature. Okay? Kasi, para ma-operate siya into breakdown, kailangan reverse bias class yung kanyang orientation. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo dito class, yung cathode, mas positive siya compared kay anode. Yan. So, di ba yan, yung cathode ng aking Zener diode, ito, yung positive na to, nakalagay, nakakonect siya sa positive 25. Tapos yung anode, nakakonect siya sa ground. Ayan, okay? Tsaka sa negative ng aking battery, which makes it reverse bias. But that is class yung normal operation ng isang Zener diode. Okay? So, ang nangyayari dito class, yung nangyayaring regulation is that yung name-measure na V out class, as you can see, is yung nagiging voltage ng aking Zener diode or yung rated voltage or Zener voltage na tinatawag or V sub Z. Now, no matter how our input voltage changes, yung magiging output class na Zener voltage is still 6.2. Okay? So, yung mame-measure nun na output voltage, 6.2 din. Okay? Kasi parallel lang naman siya sa Zener diode. Okay? So, kung magte-tester ako dito class, kukonek ko dito at saka dito, wala siyang ibang ma-measure class kundi yung voltage ng aking Zener diode. Kahit pa gaano kalaki yung maging changes dito sa aking input voltage. Okay? Now imagine that yung input voltage na to is not really a battery, pero yun yung output class ng aking filter circuit sa isang power supply. Okay? So, DC na yun class. Okay? Tapos nilagyan natin ng Zener diode, yun yung nag-aaka sa regulator. So, kung dito yung 6.2 volts class yung aking rating na Zener voltage, kung naka-on class yung aking Zener diode, ayan, kung naka-on yan, mame-measure natin sa output voltage yung nagiging, Zener voltage natin or yung Zener voltage na, rated si Zener diode. So 6.2 voltage yung mame-measure ko, V out. Kasi yun yung Zener voltage na rating ng aking Zener diode. Okay? So kahit ano pa yung maging value class ng aking input voltage, as long as naka-on class yung aking, diode, 6.2 yung aking mame-measure na output voltage. Which is what, regulation is all about. Gusto natin 'di ba consistent yung output voltage na, na name-measure natin, okey? 'Yan. So gusto natin steady 'di ba? 'Yan, so steady siya 'di ba, 'di siya nagbabago. So, eto class yung loaded version. So kanina wala yung load class, eto yung loaded version. Sinasabi ko kanina class na lalagyan lang yun ng load resistor. Yung load resistor represents our load, although siyempre hindi naman laging resistor class yung load natin, puwedeng iba-iba yan. Okay, so this simple Zener diode regulated circuit can be used for a loaded circuit. So the applied DC voltage, yung VI class, fixed daw yan as it is the load resistor. So fixed din yan. So yung analysis dito could be divided into two steps daw. Okay, paano natin malalaman kung yung Zener natin is working, or nagfa-function siya as a regulator? The applied, DC voltage is fixed, yung kakasabi ko lang. So ano yung two steps na kailangan natin para malaman kung, nag-ooperate properly class yung ating, Zener regulator. So the first one is determining class yung state ng Zener diode natin. Yung state na sinasabi dito is either kung mag-o-on ba siya class or mag-o-off siya. Okay? So kung mag-o-on siya class, dapat, ayan, forward bias siya and then pasok yung kanyang voltage class. So paano natin malalaman yung voltage na yun kung pasok? So ayan, sabi dito, by removing it from the network and calculating the voltage across the resulting open circuit. So paano yun? Tatanggalin daw natin class yung Zener diode dun sa original circuit natin, which is this one. Okay? Tapos, ayan, this one pala, may picture pala, bigger version. So, ito yung original circuit natin class. Para malaman natin yung state, kung naka-on ba or naka-off si Zener diode, kailangan natin siya tanggalin. Burahin natin siya sa circuit. Papalitan natin ng isang open. Parang ganyan. Okay? Open. Kasi fi-figure out natin class, ano yung nagiging voltage dun sa open circuit na yun. Okay? By analyzing the circuit, we can see class na kapagka nag-measure tayo dito, ayan, dito sa, open circuit, we are just essentially measuring class yung voltage ni RL. Okay, ayan, kita nyo ba? Ayan, ayan. So pagka dito, ayan, nakakonekta lang yan saan? O dito, nakakonekta lang yan class sa paa ni RL. Ayan. O paano naman sa kabila? Ito lang yun. So itutuloy-tuloy niya yung connection, pupunta siya dito class. So, dun lang yan sa isang paa ni RL. 'Di ba, ang galing. So essentially, when we are measuring yung voltage across the open circuit, we're just measuring class yung voltage ni RL. Pwede natin i-solve yung class using Ohm's law, using KVL, but the easiest way class of solving that is through the voltage divider rule. Okay? Dahil gusto lang nating i-measure class yung voltage ni RL, pwede natin gamitin yung voltage divider rule class. Kunin natin yung voltage ni RL. Okay? Paano yun? Ayan, VI, which is our supply voltage, quantity RL, yun yung mini-measure natin class na voltage, over yung total series voltage. Ayan, R. Okay? Open circuit to class, wala na yung voltage drop. Okay? Walang voltage drop yan. Bakit? Kasi wala namang current class na pupunta dyan. Open kasi. Okay? Tandaan nyo, ayaw mag-flow ng current sa isang open circuit. Okay? Kasi baka sabihin nyo, "Sir, may current diyan, 'di ba? Ayan, so halimbawa dito, ayan may current, 'di ba, galing sa battery, galing sa R. Eh, may node dito class, 'di ba? And so, isipin nyo baka mag-divide yung current diyan. Pero hindi class nagdi-divide ang current diyan. Kasi may open ka dito. Tandaan, walang nagpo-flow na current sa isang open circuit. Yan, gusto niya, ah, closed class yung path. Kaya yung current class, pagkarating niya sa node na 'to, hindi yan magdi-divide. Pupunta lahat yan class sa RL. So, I pa rin yan class, walang current dividing na mangyayari diyan. So, hindi ma-apply yung KCL dito class, okey? So, ma-apply natin dito class yung current divider rule kasi pareho yung current class na flow kay R at saka kay RL. Oh, that means they are just connected in series. Okay? Yan. So, kapagka meron na tayong na-solve class na voltage dun sa open circuit natin using the voltage divider circuit, iko-compare din natin yan or iko-compare natin yan sa voltage ng Zener diode or yung VZ or yung rated Zener voltage natin required para mag-turn on yung aking Zener diode. Na yung VZ na 'to kailangan given siya class sa ating problem. Kung yung na-solve daw natin na V ay greater than or equal kay VZ, yung state ng Zener diode natin is on and the appropriate equivalent model can be substituted. Pagka ganun class, yung Zener diode natin would act as a battery and yung mame-measure natin na voltage across sa load would be the Zener voltage. Okay? Tandaan, Zener voltage yung mame-measure natin, hindi yung V. Okay? Yan. Kapagka V is greater than or equal to VC. Now, paano naman kung hindi siya ganun yung case? Yung na-solve natin is less than the Zener voltage or yung rating niya class. Pagka ganun, hindi enough class yung voltage na nakukuha ni Zener diode. Kaya hindi siya magto-turn on. It's turned off. And yung magiging circuit natin is yung open circuit. Okay? Kasi hindi siya nagwo-work, di ba? Naka-off siya class. So, walang silbi yung aking Zener diode. And nag-a-act siya class as an open circuit. Ibig sabihin, nado-draw class nung load yung buong current ko. Ang kaso nga lang, hindi regulated yung voltage. Okay? So, kung halimbawa, nag-iiba-iba yung power ko or yung supply voltage ko, nag-iiba-iba din yung voltage nung load resistor. So, hindi regulated yung voltage, di ba? Iba-iba siya. Yan. So, ito class yung sinasabi na appropriate equivalent model. Ito class yung nagiging equivalent circuit natin kapag yung aking Zener diode is on the on state. Ibig sabihin, yung na-solve ko class na V is greater than or equal sa rated Zener voltage required para ma-turn on siya. Okay? Otherwise, kung less than class yung na-solve natin, ito na yung magiging case natin. Babalik tayo dun sa open. Diba? Ito na talaga yung nagiging operation. Which is actually yung second step class, no? Isa-substitute natin yung appropriate equivalent circuit depende kung on or off. So kapag ka off, ayan, or kung yung na-solve natin na V is less than the Zener voltage na given, ito yung drawing natin na equivalent. Tapos kapag ka-class, greater than or equal, ito yung ilalagay natin. Kapag ka-on siya class, the voltage is regulated. Pero kapag ka-off siya, hindi class regulated yung aking voltage. Now, the Zener diode current must be determined by an application of Kirchhoff's current law, IR is equal to IZ plus IL. Kapag ka-class, on yung state natin, we can apply Kirchhoff's current law class kasi pagka ganun yung case, nagdi-divide na yung current natin. Hindi na siya open. Okay? That way, we can solve for its power. So, kunin lang natin class, ayan, from this, ayan, makukuha natin yung IZ. So, remember, yung IL po would be, IL would be equal to VL over RL. Yan. So, meron tayong given na load resistor, syempre, nasa circuit yun class. Pero ano yung VL natin or yung load voltage? O remember, tulad ng sabi ko sa inyo kanina, di ba? Yung V natin, yun lang yung voltage ng load resistor. So, yung VL na sinasabi dito, yan lang din yung V na sinolve natin. And yung kinompare natin do sa VC. So, masasolve natin class yung IL. O paano naman yung IR? Paano natin masa-solve yan? Okay, kasi sino-solve dito actually is IZ. So, by doing some algebra, IZ is equal to IR minus IL. Ayan, tinranspose ko lang. So, paano naman masa-solve si IR class? Ayan, masa-solve natin si IR by assuming yung open circuit kanina class. Since open siya class, yung current flowing kay I ay kay R at saka kay load resistor is just the same. So, masa-solve natin si IR using the formula, parang Ohm's law lang din 'to class 'no, VI minus VL over, R. Okay, yan. Ito yun, tama ba? Tama. So, kunin natin yung voltage class ni, R, yung resistor R, para makuha natin yung current through it, okey? Yan. So, para 'pag na-solve na natin class yung IZ, we can solve for its power dissipation. PZ is equal to VZ times IZ. And this is also important kasi gusto nating i-compare class 'no, yung, PZ and yung makikita natin na PZM class dun sa Zener diode, which is yung maximum power rating ng isang Zener diode. So, siyempre dapat yung PZ na makuha natin must be sorry. And dapat yung PZ na ma-solve natin has to be less than PZM for a specified device class. Siyempre ayaw natin ma-reach yung maximum power rating kasi baka masira siya class or sumabog siya, okey? Baka masira yung ating, Zener diode. So, I have to be careful here kasi, as you can see yung IZ natin, ayan, dun sa solving natin may influence yung ating load resistor, okey? So, dapat tama yung ating, nilalagay na load or else puwedeng masira class yung ating Zener diode, okey? So, apply natin yung mga yun class on an example later on. It is particularly, important daw muna to realize that the first step was employed only to determine the state of the Zener diode. Ayan. Ibig sabihin class kanina, yung maso-solve natin na V, ayan, ginamit lang natin siya para ma-figure out kung ano yung state ng aking Zener diode. So, yung ma-measure natin na output kapagka on siya class, yung Zener diode natin, yung ma-measure nating voltage across the resistor nun, kapagka on kapagka on yung Zener diode, hindi class yung na-solve natin na V, but rather yung rated Zener voltage. Okay? Later on makikita natin yung class. Okay? So halimbawa, ayan, ayan na, punta na tayo dun. Ayan, okay? So halimbawa dito sabi niya, determine the state kung on or off ba daw yung Zener diode natin in the circuit below and determine whether there is power dissipated in the Zener diode. If there is power dissipated, is it less than the PZM? So yung PZM dito would be 30 milliwatts and then yung VZ natin is 10 volts. Now, let us figure out kung yung, Zener diode ba natin with the given circuits, given na VI at saka yung 1.2 kilo ohm resistor would turn on yung Zener diode natin. Okay? So, ayan, may next speech pa pala ako. Ayan. So, figure out natin kung naka-on ba siya or naka-off. Ayan, paano daw? Ayan, so i-co-convert natin into an open yung Zener diode natin. So, this is the first step. Ayan, first step. Convert daw natin into an open circuit. And then second step class would be identifying yung value ng V. From the formula, ayan, voltage divider rule lang, kukunin natin yung voltage ni RL and that would be the voltage V that we are solving here. So, VI R sub L over R plus R sub L. Ayan. So, that's equal to 16 volts multiplied by RL 1.2 kilo ohm over R 1 kilo ohm plus 1.2 kilo ohm. So, yung V ko na makukuha diyan has to be, yan, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the reference said it's 8.73 volts. Okay? Yan. Nakuha ba? 8.73. How about the others? Yan. So, ano yung next step? So, 'di ba yung next step natin would be comparing class if either V is greater than or equal to VZ para malaman natin kung on siya. Ngayon, true ba 'to class? Ayan. So, is it true class na, V is greater than or equal to VZ? I think no. Kasi 'di ba yung 8.73 yung na-solve natin na V and it's actually less than 10 volts, 'di ba? Hindi naman siya greater than or equal sa 10 volts. So kapagka class, ganyan yung case, ano yung nagiging state nung aking, um, Zener diode? Is it on or off class? So kapagka on, please chat 1. Pero kapagka off, chat 0. O ano siya, on ba siya or off? Is it 0 or 1? Ayan, type 1 kung on, pero kung off, type 0. Ayan, sa chat box. It's 0, okay, kasi less than. So, ibig sabihin class 'no, yung magiging sagot natin dito is, the diode is in the off state. Kasi remember 'di ba, the problem, stated or wanted us to find out kung ano yung nagiging state. So, the diode is in the off state, yan. Sabi ko sa inyo kanina class, kapagka off siya, yung nagiging equivalent circuit is itong open na circuit na 'to class. So ito na yung nagiging equivalent circuit nung ating, um, Zener diode circuit, okey? Ito na yung equivalent circuit nun. Kung mapapansin niyo, open siya class 'no, kapagka open, remember, sabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung magiging IZ ko would be 0 ampere. Okay. So, paano yun? 'Di ba kung 0 siya. So, by formula, yung PZ ko would be IZ times VZ. Since 0 class yung IZ ko, so that's 0 ampere multiplied by VZ and 10 volts. Pero kahit class, hindi ko ilagay yung value na yon, alam ko na yung PZ ko is already 0 watts. 'Di ba? 0 watts na siya. Kasi 0 na yung current ko, eh, 'di ba? So, kahit anong value ng voltage class, 0 pa rin yan. Okay. And that is what actually happens kapagka off yung aking Zener diode, wala siyang dini-dissipate na kahit anong power, okay? So, I think tinanong kasi yun, 'di ba? Yan, determine daw whether there is power dissipated. So, that's another question. So, there is no power dissipated. Yung isa nating answer dito. There is no power dissipated. Or no power is dissipated. Okay? So, sa follow-up question, hindi natin masasagot yon kasi may condition yon or conditional siya na if there is power dissipated, is it less than the PZM? Okay? Yan. So, mafi-fix natin to actually if uh, we used a different, and as far as I'm concerned, if we use a different uh, load resistor. So, for example, gumamit tayo ng tayo natin mas mataas. May 3 kilo. I'm not mistaken, 3 kilo. So, what would happen is 3 kilo ohm plus, so maso-solve kong voltage nun, kung gumamit ako ng load class resistor or RL na 3 kilo ohm, yung maso-solve natin dun na voltage V is 12 volts. And that would turn on class yung aking Zener diode. O, pagka ganun, meron na siyang power na madi-dissipate class. And then, uh, we can find out. Okay? So, ano pa ba akong space dito? Wala na. And anyway, recorded naman pala 'to 'no. So, ah, and yung part na 'to class nasa, lecture naman. Pero i-clear natin siya class para lang magka-example tayo ng on state. Okay? So, clear natin. Paano siya magiging on class? So, one way to do it is to actually adjust yung RL natin. So, imbis na 1.2 kilo ohm class, gawin natin siyang 3 kilo ohm. Okay? So, gawin natin siyang 3 kilo ohm. So, ito pa rin yung first step class. O-open natin yung aking Zener diode. Pangalawa, isosolve ko si voltage V. So, that's VI multiplied by RL over R plus RL. So, 3 kilo ohm lang yung nagbago. So, yun yung papalit na ko class. 16 volts multiplied by 3 kilo ohm all over R natin is 1 kilo ohm plus 3 kilo ohm. So, yung masasolve ko dito would be 12 volts. So, dito class, yung voltage ko is already greater than or equal sa VZ kasi we can remember na yung VZ ko is 10 volts. So, ibig sabihin, ayan, so 12 volts is greater than 10 volts. So, yung diode ko class, or yung Zener diode ko is, ano, is on the on state. Kasi di ba greater than. So, 12 volt yung solve kasi natin. That's greater than 10. So, the diode is in the on state. Yeah. Sir. Yeah. That way, we can solve class now for IZ. Okay? So, IZ ko is equal to IR minus IL. So, IR ko, solve ko siya class using my formula, VI minus VL over R. Tapos yung IL ko would be VL over RL. So, yung mga VL dito is also V class. So, yun yung 12. So, 16 minus 12 over 1 kilo ohm minus VL ko is 12 over 3 kilo ohm. Okay, so ano yung magiging IZ ko dito, class? This is 4 divided by 1 kilo ohm. Uh, 16 minus 12 divided by 1 kilo. 4 milliamperes. Yan, may zero pala siya dito. Ayan. So, yan. Tama, di ba? Kasi 12 divided by 3 kilo ohm. 4 kilo ohm. 4 milliamperes. Okay. Yan. So, IZ ko dito would still be equal to 0 class. Yan. And then, yung PZ ko would be equal to 0 watts din. Okay? Yan. So, there is no power dissipated dun sa aking Zener diode. So, there is no power dissipated. Power dissipated. Yan. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? That is actually a good thing kasi walang kinakain na current class yung aking Zener diode. Okay? Tama ba siya? Yan, correct me if I'm wrong. 1 kilo ohm, 3 kilo ohm. Oo, tama siya, no? Yan, Any-Event reaction. Yan. Tama ba siya? Yan. From the looks of it, parang tama siya, di ba? Yan. I just, from top of my head. Ayan, so walang power dissipated, which means wala class, dino-draw na current yung aking Zener diode. Which is good kasi napupunta lahat class yung power, or sorry, napupunta lahat ng current do sa aking load resistor. Hindi siya nababawasan class. Okay, so walang dino-draw na current yung ating Zener diode regulator. Okay, that's actually the last part of our discussion.